Farmer 73 here. Hey, look, I've been paying attention to the way they doing stuff, and they're making it so you don't have a choice anymore. I was thinking about something today, and I can't help but think about how things are going to dramatically change no matter what happens from this point on. How you doing, my Renaissance grandma? How you doing? Hey, Q Dub, K Mac. Who is this? Sean does it all. Kev, how you doing? Let's see. The gun guy again, how you doing? Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name. Sorry. Big Bad Bo, what's up? TJ, Marsha, how y'all doing? Listen, I'm gonna get right into it because I'm out here and I'm working. And I couldn't help but think about something. Hey, Missy Hawk, how you doing, sister? Precious sunshine. I got a hey, Mona Farm. Listen, y'all. You know what I was thinking about today? I was thinking, after us, everybody watching me right now, I'm pretty sure ain't nobody under 20, 21 watching me right now. After us, there will be no more um there will be no more classics. I want you to think about that just for a hot second. There will be no more classics. Me and my sons was talking. I had all my sons with me this weekend. Well, this past week, and we was all sitting back talking. We was talking about cars and stuff, dude stuff. And you want to know what? I said something, and they all their mouths just kind of dropped. There will be no more classic cars. And at first, my son said, "Yeah, cause this and that." I said, "Nope, stop." My oldest son, I said, "Nope, stop. This is why." The reason why there will be no more classic anything, classic cars, classic music, classic anything. The reason why is because they're making everything disposable. Even this bottle of water, disposable. And I got into a back and forth argument with about 100 people on my air conditioning video collecting water, and they trying to tell me this is the right way to do things and not get it out of the freaking air conditioner. But I need you to understand something, and we all gonna play a part in this. There will be no more classic cars because every car now that's made from this point on is going to be 100% controlled by the makers, the dealership, and the makers. They're making the automobiles like you can't fix them no more. You can't change your oil. They already got it, so you can't change your oil on half the cars. You won't be able to change your brakes. Everything is computerized down to the brakes. And they're making it where if you touch that, you lock the whole car out. Then you got to take it to the dealership anyway. And now you even still got to have a tow. But that's not just my point. I went on and told my sons this. I said, you know what? I want you to think about something. When you walking through the grocery store, right? You hear 1980s music. You hear 1990s music. You might hear a little bit of the 2000s, but that's it. It stops. You hear 60s, you hear 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and a little bit, maybe the first 10 years of the 2000s, if that. That's what you hear on the radio. If you go in the grocery store, they're playing, I can tell you what they're playing. They might be playing some as far up as MC Hammer, but they might be playing some Hall and Oates. They might be playing some Billy Ocean. They might be playing some Billy Idol. They might be playing some Billy Joel. They might be playing some Whitney Houston. Gerald Levert, Luther Vandross, Patti LaBelle, Michael McDonald. I want you to think about this for real. You don't hear no Sammy Davis Jr. in the grocery store. I'm being serious. I'm serious. You don't hear nothing of today. And it's for a reason. Now I want you to think about something else too, okay? Back in the 80s, when you walk in a grocery store, you heard 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, all the way up to the current dates. We would walk in a grocery store, and your latest hit would be over top of the grocery store radio system because music hadn't gotten so disgusting, music hadn't gotten so vile, music hadn't gotten to the point it had no meaning, music hadn't gotten to the point you don't understand what the hell they saying. That way the music becomes a classic. The songs that we listen to, if you're my age, the songs that we listen to as little bitty kids all the way to young adults, teenagers, hey, we're still listening to them now. And it's not because we stuck in a loop. It's because, in a way, they put the brakes on music. They put the brakes on all classical things. So they've made it to a point where you don't have a choice anymore. And I didn't mean to bum my kids out, but I was like, I feel sorry for y'all. All these young adults, man, I feel sorry for you. I truly, deeply feel sorry for you. You will never have anything that you can go back and listen to and share with your kids. For instance, people rolling around in their car and sharing a song with their kids talking about stealing, boosting, lifting, robbing people, jacking people. That's the music that you singing along with your kids right now. And here's the bad part: people think it's cute. Now, when your kid end up doing all of that stuff and going to jail, I do not want to hear no y'all treating them unfairly and that he's a, or she's a good kid or blah blah blah. Nah, I want to hear that. If you putting this shit in their head now, for you giving a kid a blueprint. And here's the difference. I'm not gonna pretend for 1 second that our music and our surroundings didn't have its hangups. We had choice though. We had choice. We had a choice to listen to some smooth R&B and hip hop, and we had some choice to listen to some Two Live Crew. They don't give you any choice anymore. Everything is about screwing, or everything is about robbing, doing drugs, killing. In the music, don't know music got anything to do with love unless you love dope. And now, like I was telling you earlier, my kids, they was like, I didn't think of that, Dad. All these electric cars. I want you to think of something right now. Each and every electric car, they don't make that same electric car the next year. Even the gas cars right now, that you might buy a car in whatever car you bought in 2025, in 2026, it don't look like the same car anymore. I've watched my wife's car body change every single year for the last however many years we've had that car, 7, 8 years, to the point you don't even recognize what it's supposed to be anymore. And then not just they change the body of the well-known cars, but the new cars that's coming out is so many different disposable junk made, rush made junk cars that they pushing out on people, that you buy it because it's cool, but you don't buy it for its dependability anymore because you know you're going to buy it, hang on to it for a few years, and trade it in. That's the mentality that they've embedded in our head right now. And I was just thinking, man, how horrible is that? How horrible is that? Everything is plastic. You right. Everything is plastic. I remember, and my son was asking me, why would they do that, Dad? Why wouldn't they make this and that? Because my son he's a mechanic. He's a gearhead, and I'm trying to tell him, son, this ain't about honor anymore. This isn't about who's the best automaking company, who can, who's the most innovative automotive company, or any company for that matter. So I said, son, that stopped happening back in the early 90s. It's not about innovation. It's not about being best. It's not about having the highest quality rating in the country. They don't care if back when I used to build cars, it was called a Q2000 award or something, or Q2000 certification. Nobody cares about that certification anymore by a quality standard being the best. Um, and here you go. Everybody riding around in junk. Everybody, everybody is riding around in polished turds. If you mess up one thing on that car, if you touch one thing on these new cars, it's a wrap. It's gonna cost you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Let me see. Gratitude, gratitude, and Grace Garden say I went to two different places to get a new battery. They had battery but could not install it because of the wiring in the bar. I ended up going to the dealership. That they making it so you got to go to the dealership for everything. There will be no more cars. Let me see. Uncle says all the SUVs look like basic boxes, refrigerators on wheels. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. No innovation at all. Nothing turns my head. Nothing. You know how you know how we go to um you know how we go to the Goodwill, and we go to the Salvation Army, and we go to these thrift stores and stuff. Y'all know, and we get stuff from the thrift store, the Goodwill, and you'll be like, oh man, I remember this. Or we look on eBay, or we look on Craigslist, or you look on Facebook Marketplace, and you will find like an old classic, whatever item you looking for. And what do they say? Mint condition. And the way you remember from back in the day, you like, yeah, it's hard to break one of these, so I'm pretty sure it's in mint condition. And you will go pay your money for it. Here's the funny thing. There will be no more of that. You want to know why there'll be no more of that? There will be, matter of fact, the way everything is working now, Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist and eBay, that stuff is going to go underwater. I'm going to tell you why. Because everything going to need an update. Even if you was able to hold on to a computer or a laptop from the early 2000s, what good is it now? Imagine this. Imagine this. I had one of the first cell phones, right? The big brick. I had a big brick cell phone, and I had a cell phone in the bag. I was the hotness back then, right? You pull out that old bag and unzip it and pull a phone. I had that Miami Vice phone. Now I want you to think about something. That's the latest technology, the newest innovation, and that was the beginning of the end. Because even though I think I still have that cell phone somewhere, I can never use it. If you find an old Miami Vice cell phone in mint condition, never been opened, the box never been opened, the seal is still on it, everything, and you want it, buy it and you want to use it, you can't use it. What are you going to hook an old 1980s Miami Vice cell phone up to? What network? Verizon? AT&T? T-Mobile? What would you hook that up to? I want you to think about this. Your computer right now, the reason why you got to keep getting a new computer is because your old computer ends up running so slow because it's been firmware updated to its limit. And now all the new updates won't run on your old computer. So they're forcing you to make a choice. Well, I'm using the word choice very lightly. They're forcing you to buy a new computer. Things are so crazy right now that even if you buy a brand new TV, I don't care how much you pay for it, if you buy a brand new TV, you better buy a surround sound system. Because if you don't buy a surround sound audio system for your brand spanking new 100-inch screen, flat screen TV, you can't hear it. I don't care if you spend $10,000, $15,000 on your TV. If you don't buy the speaker set to go with it, you won't be able to hear it. They made sure that you cannot hear the TV that you buy because they want you to buy the aftermarket speakers too. And then they play with your emotions, and you think it's by accident. You think it's by accident that the TV program that you might be watching might be as low tone as this, and this is the tone you was listening to. And then a Wendy's commercial come on, and it starts talking like this. You grab the remote, and you got to turn that thing down all the way, all the way, all the way. And then when your TV program come back on, you can't even hear it. So you got to turn the remote back up. You got to keep the remote in your hand constantly because they'll flick up a commercial and it'll be on volume 200. You got to hurry up, turn it down. Your show come back on. You got to hurry up, turn it back up. And then they start talking about sexual type commercial. You got to mute that so the kids don't hear it. You know what I'm saying? You can They made it so you can't even put the remote control down. Now I'm gonna tell you why I know that's by design. That's by design because it ain't never been like that. I've been alive since floor model TVs. Missy Hawk said, "I swear I do that. I do that all the time." Listen, we all do. We all do. And it's by design. And it'll make you be like, look, I think I need a speaker system so I can really, really hear my shows and YouTube and my platforms. They Honestly, you do need a speaker system because you can control the speaker system separately and make the speaker system uh, adapt to the commercials. Each and every commercial and each and every TV show does that on purpose. And I don't even think it's the commercial or the TV show. I think it's the broadcasting station does that on purpose. Because you can watch it on a whole nother channel. This commercial ain't loud like that. I think it's the broadcasting station that does that because they're all in freaking cahoots with one another. One person said, hey man, if you make the TV speakers bad, we'll get a cut. We'll give you a little something extra. You'll make more money from us, from them buying speaker systems, than you will just selling the TV set with a decent speaker system in it. We'll save you money by you not having to buy quality speakers and put in your television set. We'll specialize in the speakers. You send customers our way. Put a coupon in the TV box and say if you go get this surround sound system, it's 20% off, and we'll give you a kickback from that. It's all in cahoots, man. Me and my sons was just sitting around having this talk, man, and it just made me really think like we're being forced to not have a choice in anything we do. And the we was talking about cars having a good time, but it turned into a sour tune because my son was like, life is kind of kicking him in the nuts, and it's like not bad. It's just he can't. They've made it so young adults can't move forward. You can't buy a house. You can't get a bank loan. You can't get a job. You can't get no credit. You can't get a job good enough to save enough money to do any of that. So it's leaving these kids like, what are we doing to our youth? Like, what'll be left behind for them? Because no matter how you cut it, things were left behind for us to pick up the pieces and run with it. I want you to think about that. I don't care how bad things were for you growing up. Things were left behind by the last generation that we can pick up and move forward with. Like, for instance, here you go. Here's a good one for you. Let's just say you get a job, you're trying to make your way in life, you just had a baby, yada, yada, yada. You're trying to get a car, but you can't quite afford it with your rent. What did we do in our generation? Your daddy, your mama, your uncle, your granddaddy always said, hey, I got that regular ass Buick LeSabre in the back of the garage. You know, it needs some work. You need some work. But you go around that garage and you mess around and get that Buick LeSabre running, man, you can go and have it. I'll give it to you about $100, $200. You get it running, okay? I ain't gonna charge you no money till you get it running. Once you get it running, we get it switched over in your name, you give me $200. And that raggedy ass Buick LeSabre or Buick Century was our first car. And we tinkered on it and we worked on it and we got up all the spills and it had busted windows and scratched up paint and dents in it and the radio didn't work or the radio was missing, but we had something. My Wi-Fi tripping out here. So we had a little something else. We were given something that we could pick up that nobody else wanted, right? Like remember, um, let me see. Can y'all see me? Give me a thumbs up. Can you see me and hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can see me and hear me. Cause my phone really tripping right now. I'm way out here in the land. Give me a thumb. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for the confirmation, the moving tent. Thank you. Thank you, Chosen. Thank you, everybody, for the confirmation. Thank you. This, I got one more for you. Remember when you'll be walking back and forth to school, you finally got to high school, and you walking back and forth to school or you're catching the bus, and every time the bus turn a certain street, go down a certain direction, or you walk down a certain street, it's a raggedy old Chevy Impala sitting in this driveway on 4 flat tires. And the first thought in your head, you hit high school, you ready to drive, and you like, I wonder if they want to sell that. And then you start dreaming, you start imagining every day you get up, go home from school, or on the way to school, you pass that old raggedy Chevy Impala, and you dream about all the stuff you would do, how you would fix it, so you can get back and forth. You start dreaming about instead of catching the bus to school or walking to school in the heat or the cold, you'll be in your own ride. And then one day you get up the courage and you don't work your little part-time job. You get up the courage to go knock on that door and ask that man or that lady, I was just wondering if you want to sell this car in the driveway. And that person would always be like, you want that old thing? It don't work. And you'd be like, I know I can fix it. Well, I don't know if I could find a title to it. I would mind. What kind of money you talking about giving for it? I saved up. I was able to save up $300. I mean, if that's not enough, I can work on it. I tell you what, let me go in here and try to find the papers for it. And next thing you know, you just bought yourself an old 1978 Deuce and a Quarter or Chevy Impala box body. 4 flat tires that need some carburetor work. You know, need some fresh, and for some reason everything didn't need fresh fuel back then. That car will be sitting in that driveway for 20 years, and that's her dead husband's car. But it'll start right up. You pour some gas in the carburetor, and that mugger, you pump that gas pedal about 10 times, that mugger crank right up and been sitting in there in an oil stain for 20 years. Even the tires would inflate back up. And that little $200, $300 car did two things. It got some junk out of somebody and a bad memory out of somebody's driveway. And now you on your way to a new life, because what that raggedy old car is to her was a raggedy old car. But what that raggedy old car is to you is a stepping stone to get to the next level. That raggedy old Chevy Impala is going to get you until you in a new Impala. It's going to get you a better job. It's going to get you be able to get to the store, so you ain't got to keep paying people to take you back and forth to work, or take your baby to the doctor, or take your wife to work. That Chevy Impala is going to make it. That Chevy Impala is going to split. And next thing you know, you're going to have two Chevy Impalas, because that Chevy Impala going to make it so you make enough money so you can get you and your wife or your girlfriend a car, and you build your life. The reason I'm telling you this is because what they're doing is making it so that'll never happen again, because nothing will be left behind for people to see. You're not going to walk up in a driveway with an old electric car, these new EVs, and somebody going to be like, can I fix that? You can't. I need you to really think about this. The reason why I'm telling you that you're not going to be able to do that, let's just say you have the ingenuity to fix that electric vehicle. You got one problem. The problem is the software won't update. The software, if you see an old 20, 30-year electric vehicle, the software in all the computer systems is run throughout the entire vehicle now. So the software update is going to probably be done maxed out after the first 10 years. So even if you can get that car running and get power to the computer won't be able to be updated. And the corporation don't want you to update the vehicle, so they're not going to put out new computer systems that you can add onto this old vehicle to get it running, because they want you to buy a new one. We're seeing that right now. We see that right now because they're making it so you can't even work on your own car. Me and my sons had this conversation, and I'm telling you, it was it was a it was a beautiful conversation. And I wish I could remember everything that all my sons were saying, from my youngest to my oldest to my son-in-law. Everything that was being said was like out of their mouths, not out of mine, out of how they think of the world, because their perspective is totally different from mine. But it was interesting to see how sad they are and how much they understand how bad they're screwed without me having to tell them, to hear their perspective and how much they wish they could have had a taste of how we lived, and in our era, and the things we were able to accomplish with the things that was given down or passed down to us. And it's sad. It's sad that that can't happen anymore. And no matter how cool these cars and motorcycles are, and trust me, I like them myself, the only problem is enjoy them now, because you can't enjoy them later. You know, I have a e-bike. I have an e-bike that I'm going to have to get rid of. And because I had it so long, it needs a new battery. And the company doesn't sell that battery anymore. Nobody has this battery. And I'm like, what? This is a perfectly good, like brand new e-bike with a handful of miles on it, and you can't do nothing with it. And I just thought that was so sad, you know? So now it's not an e-bike, it's just a bike. It's just a big, heavy ass bike, and nobody can help me. The only way you could possibly get that bike up and running is start tinkering with it, and I'm not doing that. You know, you that's another thing. When the last time you been to the junkyard? I went to the junkyard maybe a couple months ago, but no, before it got hot. I went to the junkyard because I lost a tail light on my trailer. Let me tell you something. Junkyard ain't a junkyard no more. The junkyard look like Walmart. Ain't no get your toolbox, throw in a wheelbarrow and carry it out there and jack your own car up and look for your parts you need. No, you get in the junkyard, you register, you sign your name, sign in, and then you go and scroll and look for your part that you're looking for. It gives you exactly where the part may be. Half the parts they take off themselves and bring it back inside the junkyard and charge you a premium for the part because you don't have to take it off. But if you do happen to just go out there in the field in the junkyard, it's like you're walking through Walmart. Everything are in perfect rows and perfect aisles, and there is no real junk. They tell you don't be pulling stuff off and breaking stuff to get stuff off, and everything has to be precision removed, like surgically removed. And it's like, wow, wow. It left a really, really bad taste in my mouth. Really bad taste in my mouth. It was a horrible experience, to be honest with you. Matter of fact, because I remember, putting on my Michael Myers, onesie, getting rid of my mechanic suit, ready to get in there and get dirty and get oily. Man, you walking in there and people got on Crocs because it's so, I guess, clean. It's bizarre. The analytic gardener said the junkyard is not the same. We used to pull the part ourselves, but not anymore. Not anymore. And then if you got to pull apart, now it didn't happen to me, but I heard about this. If you do actually have to go and physically pull apart, they send somebody with you now. Did y'all? I haven't had it happen to me. But now if you really need to go pull apart, they send somebody with you and they record the part before you take it off. And then when you get to the register, they make sure that's the same part. It's like, now I've only heard about that. I don't know how true that is, but the person I got it from ain't got no reason to lie to me about something that damn stupid. I just thought, man, this is this is this is not what I signed up for. So uh I'm just telling y'all, I got one thing that I love. I got one thing that I love. I got this land. This is the only thing that cannot change. The whole world can be built up and crumble down around me, but they can't change this. This is why I keep telling everybody, do your very best to get back to basics. I'm not saying you have to live like a caveman. What I'm saying is, please learn your basic necessities. Go camping. Don't bring too much technology with you every single time you go camping. Be outside more. And this actually, I ain't gonna stay on here for too much long because I know my battery is about to die anyway. But listen to this. I came up with a whole thought while I was driving out here the other day. You know what that thought was? You want to know one of the reasons why we get so many, this is my opinion, okay? This is my theory. Why it's easy for us to catch so many diseases, cancers, tumors. It's not just the food. This is just my thought. My other thought was We live in almost 100% temperature controlled environments all day, all life. I want you to think about that. When you go in the grocery store, air condition, heat. When you come in the house, air condition, heat. When you get in your car, air condition, heat. Our bodies don't even know how to function outdoors no more at all. And all we do all day, all night, while you sleep, while you wake up, eat breakfast, get ready for whatever you about to do for your day, is breathe up whatever the hell is coming through your HVAC system all day, all night. You never get a break. Because what do we say? It's hot outside. I'm staying in the house. In the wintertime, what we say? It's cold outside. I'm staying in the house, in the heat or in the AC. And we spend most of our lives, oh, you go to work? AC or heat. We spend most of our lives under these mysterious contraptions that give us temperature control. And I want to just say this, there's no other country on the planet with the amount of temperature control that we have, personal temperature control. There's no other country on the planet to the point where every country that was coming to the United States a couple of weeks ago were experiencing air conditioning, and they were acting like it was the second coming of Christ. I want you to think about that. Every other country is healthier, hands down, than the United States of America. Think about it. Every other country is healthier than us. Those countries have no idea, but they air condition what? For what? When it's hot, they pull a fan out. They fan themselves. When it's cold, they bundle up, pull out the blankets, throw another log on the fire. Not us. We got these. It's just, I don't know. I've been thinking like, man, it's crazy. I keep wondering like, how will this new generation be able to maintain? How when you they're making it so if you fall or you make a mistake, there's nothing in place to correct your mistakes. For instance, if you lose your apartment, you just done for. You can't get a better job. You can't get another place. They make it so you can't make another professional move and pick yourself up off the ground. We fall down, but we get up. They making it so you can't. And what I mean by that, just like I was talking about those cars. With those cars, you can't afford a new car, but Miss Emma down the street got an old Buick Riviera sitting in her garage that she ain't gonna ever drive no more because she had that leg amputated because she had the sugar. Sorry. Miss Emma ain't gonna drive that Buick Riviera no more. So you go down there and ask old Miss Emma, can you buy it? And she ain't got no problem selling it to you. She said, all it's doing there is gonna sit in there and rust anyway. You might as well sell it. She'll sell that old raggedy ass car to you. You go out, put some wheels on it, fresh meats, socks and shoes, clean the inside out a little bit, take all them bingo chips out of the glove compartment that she left in there. You clean out all them bingo chips Miss Emma left in the glove compartment, them old bingo blotters. and her lucky rabbit's foot. You take that out the glove compartment, give it back to her, and you give Miss Emma about $300 or $400, and you push that mug out the garage, push it down the driveway, and you and your friend mess around, get it started, and he follow you home with it. Ain't got no plates or nothing. The inside smell like cigarette smoke and bingo chips. But you don't care though. It's yours. That's the way you can come up after you done fell down. No, you can't afford no brand new car. But you know good and well somebody got an old classic around, sitting around somewhere. You know? Those days is about to be long gone, man. It's about to be to the point where if you can't purchase a brand new car, you won't have a car. And then if you do end up if they do sell you a used car, there is no way for you to run a diagnostic test if the entire car and all its components are electrical. So you screwed. Either what you gonna do, go kick the tires, look under the hood at what? Ain't nothing you gonna be able to do. I just wanted to come in here real quick and put that on y'all mind real quick. I ain't here to hold y'all. I gotta go in here and get some stuff done. That's it. I just wanted to stop for a minute and throw that at y'all real quick. The sun was burning my brains out, and I was like, let me take a break. So everybody, the analytic garden said we bought several of our cars from other persons. They were sitting under trees looking a hot mess. We all have. We all have. Everybody remember what I said? Do your best to hold on to the old ways. That's all. I'm not saying go back to say, you want some lemonade, boss? I ain't saying that. I'm talking about hang on to the classic ways of getting by to the best of your ability. If you've never been outside, you've never hung outside in the heat or in the cold and made everything happen, made it do what it do, you might want to start getting used to that. That's all I'm saying. All right? No harm, no foul, no long video today. Just wanted to pass that on, throw it at you, all right? Everybody, I want you to really think about what we said here today. And I want you to go back and read all the comments that everybody put in this chat. And I want you to have this conversation that we having right now with somebody else. Would you please do that? Take the information that we just said today, everything I said and everything y'all said in the chat. Watch all those comments and then go have this same conversation with somebody in your family, your workplace, or something. And I want you to hear what they have to say. Because unfortunately, we have one problem. There's a lot of people that's so doggone ignorant that they don't see the outcome of this. They don't see the problem with any of this. They think it's all cool and that's all they care about. But they don't care about the future. So have this conversation with your loved ones or your friends, okay? It's gonna hit home for you. With that being said, everybody, thank you for listening. Leah Farmer 73. I love all y'all. Be safe. Stay sane. Love you. And I'm